Formula 1 returns to Sao Paulo, Brazil for the final round of the 2018 season, and the race which will be championship decided in both championships for what has been one of the closest and most hard-fought seasons in recent memory, with 9 different drivers taking victory, 5 teams tasting the top step champagne, and 7 of the 10 teams reaching the podium at least once throughout the season. Also, many drivers outside the championship battle also focusing and fighting for their careers possibly in Formula 1 for next year. Josh Cherry though had a mountainous climb if he wants to take his second Drivers' World Championship, as the Brit has to win the race and Fernando Alonso to finish 13th or DNF from the race as he leads Tiro by 19 points coming into the race. Sauber also embark on what will be their final race in Formula 1 before coming Alfa Romeo for 2019, and Matsushita returns to the team for the final race and is keen to take points in what will be the Swiss Outfit's final race. Renault also come to this race embarking a throwback livery, pay respects to Fernando Alonso, who embarks on his final race in Formula 1 as he scored what is the team's only 2 drivers' championships back in 2005 and 2006. Mercedes also come to this race with a special livery for Fernando Alonso, running in a black and red livery as a mark almost back to his Minardi days where he started his career with the Italian Menes back in 2001. Still was also riding high after taking his podium last time out, and he's actually set the fastest time in third practice, and he's gunning for glory to take a win in his final Grand Prix. There'll be Taurus back row for the final time this season, with once again Pierre Gasly having settled for last place, with Mika Kari starting from 19th. Carmen Jordan starts from 18th in the McLaren, and Mick Schumacher was very disappointed to only start 17th in the Haas BMW. Barnes Stroll was equally frustrated to be knocked out in Q1, but could at least take some pride in beating his teammate Schumacher, with Matsushita making it through into Q2 to start from 15th. Very poor lap from Daniel Kvyat sees him line up in 14th, although his engine is reaching the end of its life cycle, with Charles Leclerc with an equally poor lap to start from 13th. Rio Haryanto starts from inside the point places from P12, and Nico Hulkenberg starting from 11th in the second of the 2 Renaults. The second race in a row, Robert Kubica starts from P10, with Jean-Eric Verne starting from 9th place as the lead of the Renaults and Renault-powered cars. Pascal Wehrlein uncertain about his future starts from 8th place on the grid, with 5-time champion Sebastian Vettel starting from 7th. Fernando Alonso admitted he could have gone quicker in Q3 but chose to play it safe and starts from P6, with Max Verstappen starting lead Red Bull from P5. Adrian Sittle starts from 4th place, equaling his best ever qualifying position, with Kamui Kobayashi starting from inside the podium places in P3. And this left an all-British front row, with Josh Cherry starting from 2nd place in the Williams and Lewis Hamilton taking the final pole position for Toyota. Hey guys, Tara here. Welcome back to the UniONE career, this time round 19, the championship deciding race in both championships, because we have to win the race. Alonso not to score to take our second driver's title. It's also very close in the constructors as well. There's about 5 or 6 points separating Williams and Mercedes in Williams' favour, so it's not just about me and Alonso, it's also about what about our teammates Pascal Wehrlein in the Mercedes and our teammate Kubica starting in P10. He needs to up his ante in the race. And also Adrian Stissel talking about upping the ante, also embarking on his final race in Formula 1 along with Fernando Alonso, and he's going all guns blazing now to take his victory. I mean, he got his first podium in this season. Can he go out and take the final step on the top step of the podium? Also Fernando Alonso starting from P6, and now he's not going to put to any risk, he just needs to finish in the points, and he's got 12 places to choose from, so let's basically see Alonso going guns blazing into turn 1 to play it safe. And also, what about Sauber? Coming to what will be their final race in Formula 1, and next year will be the first time since 1993 that there won't be the Sauber name in Formula 1, and can the team go on a high, starting from 15th and 13th? You could maybe have to do an alternate strategy. And looking at us now, starting from 2nd place now in a Toyota sandwich. And in qualifying, we actually set the exact same time as Lewis Hamilton, but Hamilton set his time first. So we know there is pace in the car over 1 lap, which there has been for the whole season as well. And you've got Kobayashi and Sittle right up behind us, because Kobayashi also fighting for his seat to stay at Toyota for next season. And now coming to the far red light for the start of the championship deciding race. Lights out and away we go. We need a good start here, but we're on the day side of the green. Houghton gets a blinding start though from pole position. So Kobayashi's got a good start. No, goes such an up on the inside line, go for a dive. On the inside line, actually go for a double dive. On the inside line of Kobayashi as well. Can you hold it there? So go around the outside line, which then turns to the inside though for turn 3. It's going to be side by side. He's going to force out Kobayashi. No, it's going to be drag now. Of course, no DRS here. That won't be activated until the end of lap 3, but that's totally going to have some massive straight up speed. Soto goes very defensive to the inside line. Kobayashi's going to try and go the long way around the outside line. Actually, had to get forced out or backed out of the corner now. Adrian Soto gets it all now into P2 with a blinding start there for the German. Of course, he's going to be running everything on maximum power because it's all or nothing for him, really. Doesn't matter if the engine blows up now. He's going to be his final race in Formula 1, so he's just going to go out. I mean, if he stays in second place, that'll still be his best result in Formula 1. That's something we can be very happy with as well. We've got Pascal Wehrlein looking very racing behind as well, because of course it's Williams versus Mercedes in the constructors, so it's in Wehrlein's best interest now to get past us. Because as it stands right now, to get very close to the back of Verstappen, who's pushing him through the corner. If the race finished right now, Mercedes would be outscoring us, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know if the points cushion we've got is enough to keep us in front at this point, so Kubica is really going to have to get a shift on really in this race. The two Max still going side by side behind. This is not what Imagine Toto Wolff's going to be absolutely mental now in the garage. You've got Wehrlein fighting for his career, trying to get over the inside line of his championship contending teammate Fernando Alonso. That's going to be a drag race now down into turn 1 between the two Mercedes. I think it's Alonso now on the outside line coming into turn 1. He can try to hold it around the outside line. Or is he going to let Wehrlein go? He's going to be keeping side by side. He's going to force the issue though, Alonso. Doesn't want to be put over by his teammate in the final race, in his final race of his career. Well, Wehrlein then makes the move. Now as Alonso is going to be in the slipstream now, so can he come straight back now at Pascal Wehrlein? Wehrlein going to move to the inside line. Yes, he does. He always blocks off Alonso there, so the Mercedes is getting very personal now in the final race. There's our teammate Kubica right up behind now. This is exactly what we need. Come on, Kubica. Get involved now with us two modes while they're fighting. Hopefully he can try and find a way to sliver up the inside line. Then we've got Seb Vettel just tucked him right behind the head there of the two Renaults, and was in the mild 7 livery, the classic blue and yellow, which is probably one of the most famous liveries in F1 history, along probably with the Marlboro McLarens. But now then, we're still in P5, and I'm actually pretty glad it's Wehrlein behind us, because clearly he's not listening to any team orders, if any have been given. But I'm sure he's going to be told to try and chase on after us, but with Alonso and him fighting as much as they are, we actually get peppered through the second sector, which is actually representative, because we've gone faster than all the other cars in front of us, which is good for us, because I need to absolutely win this race. Regardless of where Alonso finishes, if I don't win the race, then he's going to be world champion. Getting out in the position because with the air stopping tyres, how to put the fast lap of the race, and the pull to the inside line of Max Verstappen now coming down out into going to lay on the brakes of the Dutchman. Trying to force him out, and he actually backs out of the move there. So yeah, just showing the straight line speed deficit between the Cosy engine. Of course, it's Red Bull's last race also with Cosy power. Will they switch to Honda engines for next season? Even to pull away, we're now with DRS as well, since it's now on lap 3. So we go through that detention point because it's two separate detention points, so we actually managed to get DRS to pull away that time. So pretty much just a double advantage there to try and pull away. And now we've got Kamui Kobayashi in front of us now, who's sticking right to the gearbox on that Ferrari of Adrian Sutil. The Ferrari, it's not been the greatest car in the world. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're on less points in the constructors than Jean-Eric Vergne scored by himself last season to take the driver's title, which was about 220 something points. I don't even think Ferrari have broken the 200 barrier yet. Now looking down to the other Red Bull now, Dan McPherson down in P14, although he's on a very old engine, so there's not going to be too much power left in it. It's just going to be hoping he actually gets to the end of the race. Of course, he didn't want to take a penalty because Red Bull are in a fight with Toyota for 3rd place in the construction, and that means a lot of difference in prize money come the end of the season. Dan McPherson sticking right to behind the back. They won the McLaren Renault, which I'm guessing is Haryanto. And Haryanto, to be fair, is actually sticking right to the back of one of the Hasses, and the McLarens, they've been pretty draggy all season. They've been probably, I think they've actually been the slowest car through the speed charts pretty much all season long. Now Haryanto here actually being able to stick to the gearbox there of Lance Stroll and the Haas, and actually that's got to be a good sign to McLaren that maybe they're starting to iron out the issues of the car. I mean, they came in with a very, very radical design for this season, and it really didn't work. Although it was also designed around a Honda engine, but with the Renault or Honda engine in the back of that car, I don't think it would have really made too much of a difference because the car is just very aerodynamically challenged in terms of too much drag, like I said. So they're able to keep with the Haas here, which is a pretty speedy car in terms of straight line speed. Of course, having a BMW engine in the back of it, there's going to be signs of progress, and whatever car McLaren design for next year, whether they keep with this concept, whatever they do, it has to be different to this car. And the same with the Toro Rosso as well. Those cars need to be different because they've really not worked for this year. And then Daniel Kvyat though, Still sticking right at the back here of that McLaren Renault. He looks a bit closer to him because Stroll's actually managing to pull away, but that's maybe imagine he just turned up the engine a little bit to pull away from the McLaren. Now Harriento goes defensive to the inside line of Danny Kvyat. Kvyat has to go the long way around now, coming down. It's one Harriento's going to keep it on the inside line. He's going to force the issue and force Danny Kvyat the long way around. Kvyat keeps it nosing though, can keep it side by side still through the Sunny Rest into turn 2 now, through turn 3. Kvyat's going to go the long way now around the outside line. Now which of these two is going to have DRS. Actually it looks like actually they both got DRS, of course, they're both near Stroll. Actually Kvyat gets 50 to the inside line. Then actually Harriento goes for a switch on line. Brilliant move back to the inside line there from Harriento. Going to keep it side by side now on the inside line. Keep it side by side still with the Red Bull. This has to be scared. Very encouraging sign they can try to hide out around the outside line for this corner. It's going to be very brave if you can make it stick. It'll be sometimes making a little bit of contact. Still Harriento can try and keep it out around the outside line once again. But keep that with the good traction, able to pull himself there in front of Harriento. But even with the Red Bull with no other engine, McLaren able to fight through the corners. Definitely has to be signs that they're definitely progressing towards maybe even getting finally on the road to recovery. Now moving all the way back onto lap 9, back onto our POV. Nothing really has actually changed. We've caught up to Kobayashi because Adrian Little is starting to be a little bit of a bottleneck, and that's probably running a low drag setup on that Ferrari to give it some monstrous straight line speed to do anything to try and defend from the Toyota of Kobayashi. And we haven't exactly dropped Verstappen either, because like I said, with Verstappen being a bit of a bottleneck, actually now making a move inside the line here of Kobayashi, trying to hold it down around the outside line, use a good high speed down so this guy keeping side by side still with Kobayashi. Could be caught him napping in the first place, try and make that move anyway. We're going to pinch in there to the apex. Now we're going to get a good line here around the outside line. We can put the power down. And we're going to make a move to the stick around the outside line. We managed to make a move now, back now, up now into the podium place, and this is crucial. We've still got 2 more places yet to go though. And then Kobayashi going to have the DRS though, and he's going to go steaming straight back past. Oh my god, the straight line speed of that car is absolutely unreal. Now into turn 1, he cleared us way before the corner. That just shows how good really the Toyota engine has become in this season. And that Toyota really has just been the car to beat. I mean, last time out in Mexico, their engine power is what really won the race because they're not too good through the corners. They're just going to a straight speed that can just able to make up the time down the 2 long straights. And now we've got Verstappen there looking very racy behind him again. So me and Kobayashi fighting, even though we're clearing each other pretty quickly. Of course, Verstappen, he's never going to say no to a fight, is he? He's probably one of the most racy drivers on the grid, really, probably along with ourselves. And it seems Adrian Sutton now he's woken up as well. We won't be here on the grid for next season. So they haven't got there. Little look to the inside to try and put Kobayashi off. I mean, we made a move on him once, but now then he's going to be wise to that move, which is going to be a problem. But actually, no, actually, might not be actually, in effect, because we can keep behind him here, which we have to, because we can't really make that same move again. Imagine Kobayashi is going to be wise to that move that we did before. But now then, we can stay really close to him here like we are, and it's going to be us that gets the DRS to try and just blast straight back past him, because that Toyota is bloody quick, but it's not as quick as a BMW Williams with DRS. There's the natural combo. I actually see there's rain starting to come now, so finally rain's actually going to play a factor now in one of these races. I mean, it's the first race this season. We've actually had some wet weather in the race. Look at that DRS wide open, is going to blast straight back past Kobayashi. They're coming now into turn 1. We've taken the length of straight there. We actually managed to clear him like he managed to clear us. So yeah, definitely a lot more straight line speed in that Toyota than what we have in that BMW Williams. But we've got the more downforce though, so it's rather track dependent really in what way it works. And there comes Kobayashi once again with that massive train of speed. Once again, he's going to pull to the inside line of us now. Going down now into turn 4 and can keep pinching there too deep. It's going to try and floor it now around the outside line. Of course, in the wet weather, the racing line is really where you want to be, because that'll be the track that's still the warmest and we have cars driving over it. Of course, we've still got a lot of heat in our tyres yet because the rain is only so far to see how much they're already pulling away from Kobayashi. So as soon as he hits the dirty air, it seems to be affecting him quite a bit. I mean, with a lesser aero car, you'd think that in effect he should be able to follow me better, but maybe, well, something definitely isn't working in the dirty air with that Toyota. Imagine, maybe with the upgrades abroad, they're designed to be a front-running car, because you know the front-running cars have more issues than the ones further back, because they're designed to be running the pack and can follow slightly better, though there's not really too much of a difference between it. And now that it's actually raining, this is where Verstappen should come into his element, because he's got a reputation of a little bit of a rain master, although we've not had too many wet races where he's actually been in his career so far, though he's been here basically as long as I have in Formula 1. I'm starting to get a little bit twitchy now, because the track is definitely getting it's getting more moist, but it's still not time yet to switch onto intermediate tyres. Can we just burn them out now if we swap now? Though we are 8 seconds down on our best lap. So losing amount of time wise, it's not going to be long now until we have to switch though onto the inters. Though we are just catching up to Sutto, so maybe Sutto on wet track dry tyres now. The teammate comes into the pit, so is this time for intermediates now? Well, there's a massive queue of cars, basically the second half of the grid is now making their way into the pit lane. What time is he going to go to? It is indeed now time for intermediate tyres, so everyone away. Sutto what's he doing? Is he got some kind of penalty or something? No, he's not actually been. He's been held for basically half the grid to go past him. Oh, that's been a really close. I mean, he's lost space there. It's 1, 2, 3 spots. Well, 4 really. Where he is now. So that's been a really poor stop there for Kubica. I mean, you're leaving that train of cars that came in, and I was coming out basically in the middle of it. But yeah, it's time to switch to intermediates now for the entire second half of the grid. So we've got to try and tiptoe our way now actually to get back into the pit lane, which is changed. I mean, if it only would change like what 10, 15 seconds sooner, as soon as we got the call, then because it can change on a lap by lap basis. I mean, look tough. I mean, we're still in third place, so none of the top guys have actually said that, so we were just playing it safe and waiting for everyone else to box so far. And of course, going to be using that data now. We're confirming to the crew that will be boxing now at the end of this lap. And basically, well, I'm confirming I'll be boxing. I'm doing whatever Suttle does in front of me. And Suttle there is coming now then into the pit lane, so we're going to be doing the same now. We should get breaking point. We'll get a little bit of a slide on though, because we're going to be very, very slippery in the pit lane. We managed to get our braking correct though. We managed to get slowed down. And now then it's going to be another pit stop battle here for the Williams crew. Now we're going to need a good stop here as we come now onto stay off intermediate tyres now ourselves. But oh no, come on now, we've actually been held up here as well. The traffic light's still on red. They're not letting us go. We could have got out then. You could have got me out in front of Kobayashi. So yeah, that place I worked so hard to gain from him, I've lost. And I've also lost to Verstappen. Red Bull giving him an absolutely blinding pit stop. And we've seen previously with Verstappen's good pace in the wet weather, Verstappen could still be an outside shot for the race. I mean, he's got to get past Suttle first and then catch all the way up to Hamilton. And then there's a car going up pit straight. Actually, wait, that's like a black car. It's one of the Mercedes. Which one is this? Is this Alonso or is it Verlaine? I can't tell from the gloves. I'm pretty sure that both the gloves are the same colour. But either way, the Red Bull's in front of it, and it is Pascal Verlaine in front of us. So Verlaine, where's he come from? Well, I guess stopping that lap earlier really did give him the good undercut on the intermediate tyres. But either way, it's still Lewis Hamilton that leads the race from Adrian Suttle here in P2. You've got a little bit of a gap though to the car behind him, which I'm pretty sure is indeed still Max Verstappen. So Verstappen running off the podium so far for Red Bull Cosy. And then he's got a bit of a gap. He's got Verlaine behind him, and Verlaine, he's had a really difficult season really. I mean, Alonso's fighting for the championship and Verlaine's only had 1 win and 1 second place as his 2 best results. So yeah, definitely been outshone by Alonso. But then again, if Fernando Alonso is your teammate, you're not the easiest teammate in the world to have. But then we're right up behind the back here then of Kobayashi as well. And now then, without DRS, this is going to be pretty much a level playing field. You can see that Toyota's still pulling away from us at that monstrous straight line speed. Although Toyota, even in the wet weather, is still coming through. But then he's close enough to try and make a move. Actually, Verlaine's getting on the back of Verstappen, so Verlaine could actually be on for his 3rd podium visit of the season, but his 2nd podium. These guys got a win in the 2nd place. Then we've got Fernando Alonso as the car behind us in a no man's land of his own here with Seb Vettel. Just trying to chase him down because that Ferrari should be pretty good in the wet. I mean, the wet weather is usually a pace nullifier. Then we have one of the Alfa Romeo Saubers with Daniel Kvyat stuck right up behind him. And like I said, just like Verstappen, this is where Kvyat should be coming into his element. But that Alfa Romeo Sauber is so quick in a straight line as well. He's going to have trouble getting past it. Then we have the leader of the runners here of Hulkenberg, followed then by our teammate Robert Kubica, who's going to re on his recovery run now, being sandwiched in by the 2 Renaults. And the Renaults, they've been improving, but they're still nowhere near to a level of BMW Williams. And you've got Jev right up behind our teammate as well. Because, well, this is where he won his championship last season. This is where he's going to be losing his crown at the end of it. We had the lead of the Haas there of Lance Stroll, I think, followed by one of the McLarens. And then the other Sauber Alfa Romeo in their final race. And then we got the gap back now to the back 3 cars, it looks like here. Followed then by the Haas of Mick Schumacher, who's not having a fun time. Followed then by the Toro Rosso here of Nico Kari, who's stuck right up behind the back here of the son of the 7-time world champion Michael Schumacher. And then we have the second of the McLarens of Carmen Giorgi, stuck right up behind the back the other time in the McLaren Toro Rosso, so basically by each other. Then we have, actually no, this must be the driver at the back then, Pierre Gasly, all on his lonesome really. So Gasly, he's not having the most fun time in this race. Now moving back onto a bit further on into the race, looking now at the Toyota here of Kobayashi, you get a slide on there, so just showing that it's getting a bit treacherous out here. It may actually be time for full wet soon enough, although you can still pretty much see a racing line here, a darker patch, so not quite time yet. Maybe kind of like a crossover time between inters and full wets. But now then, Kobayashi now he's gaining on the back of Verlaine, so Verstappen actually started to pull away from Verlaine a little bit in the past few laps. But now then Kobayashi, with that monstrous straight line speed, is that going to be enough to gain past? I don't think it will be enough. Coming at 97, actually right up behind though. That monstrous being put to the inside line of Verlaine. And how did he gain that much speed? Jesus Christ, that is one bloody quick Toyota. I had no idea. I knew they were quick, but I didn't think it was going to be like that. Wow. It's basically like the 2014 Mercedes levels of OP in the straight line there. And Verline, I'm not even surprised really. He's got nothing to fight out. If I was Verline right now, I would be very confused as well as to why there was a Toyota just shooting straight past me. On to lap 22. No, we're still stuck behind Verline. We're in a Merc sandwich. Alonso, he's a few seconds behind us, about 5-6 seconds, something like that behind. But then we really need to get past Verline because we're over halfway through the race, and I'm still nowhere near the lead. But it's going to be in Verline's best interest to keep in front of me for the Mercedes Constructors Championship battle with Williams. Actually, I'm not even turning the engine up yet. This is going to be on pure power and slowing as well. And now we're going to pull to the inside line. Verline tries to force the issue, but no, we're going to go for the late braking or the inside line. Pretty much stage braking. Verline just pretty much gets scared out of the road. Really. Actually, I thought Verline would put it more high, but the W10 Mercedes really just hasn't worked at all for him. But now then, Verline's going to be gaining back now in the switching behind us now. Coming back now, though, into turn 4. He's not close enough to make a move, and you can just see Alonso in the background. The Verline, I think as it stands right now, I'm pretty sure Merc is still going to be outscoring us because I don't really know where Kubica is. The Verline though, he's going to try and pull a far back on. I mean, he's ahead of his teammate Alonso, but then again, Alonso is just going to be taking it leisurely. All he needs to do is finish in the top 12 when he's guaranteed his third World Championship. And his third of what should have been more than 3, I do have to be honest. I mean, he could have won in 07 if he hadn't crashed in Japan. He would have had enough points to win the championship there. Honestly, he should have won it in 2010 as well. And then in 2012 as well, if it wasn't for those 2 crashes where he got taken out. So yeah, could have had 6 championships under his belt, but it sounds right now he's looking pretty good for his third, and Verline really is just falling back from us. Through the corners, the Mercedes, it's not really worked past the second half of the season. Imagine they've been focusing more towards their 2020 challenger, the 2019 as well. With the regulation changes, and more towards the 2021 seasons. Verline's actually coming in now for his second stop, so is it time for full wets? What are they doing here? Because he's the only driver that's come in so far, so Mercedes going to try to do something strategy to try and get Verline back in front of us possibly. He's coming in for another set of the intermediate tyres, so even on these wet tyres, it still degrade pretty quickly. I mean, this is the first time we've actually raced on wet tyres, so it's still basically, honestly, the last race of the season and the wet tyres for this year, they're basically an unknown still, so I mean, imagine it spices up the race a little bit, but honestly, for the final race of the season, I would like it to just be plain and simple. I mean, qualifying was in the dry, and I said at the same time as Hamilton. I'd like to have some of that pace, so that would be nice. Then we got one of the Renaults though, coming up right behind Pascal Verline. Coming now is actually the Renault there. Orange Verline coming into the corner though. He's not close to make a move, although he's going to be on. Although his tyres are going to be warm, they're going to be up to temperature. So maybe Jeff can try and annoy Pascal Verline a little bit on this lap. This is really what we need. So now we're going to have to actually react to Pascal Verline, because it seems if Mercedes don't think this tyre can do another 12 laps, or when we go into another set of wet tyres, or back to dry, you never know what it's going to do. We're running out a little bit wider. I mean, honestly, I think I had 2 wheels on the track there still, as you get a little bit of a slide on those. But yeah, definitely this time these tyres are wearing out, and I'm guessing I don't want to risk them for another 12 laps. So we've got an 8-second gap to Fernando Alonso behind, so you should have no pressure. We're running all over the place here. Definitely starting to come and kick the car on the track then. Coming out into the pit lane, once again just sliding our way into the pit lane, because as you can see the 2 like tram lines from tyre tracks, the pit lane is not somewhere you race, so yeah, there's going to be a lot more standing water there on the pit lane. Coming in, I think we held up there. I think we held up Kobayashi there a little bit. Verstappen though gets back out in front of Kamui, but we're definitely closer though. Because I think holding up Kobayashi held up Verstappen, though, pretty much just like box them in really. So yeah, we're gaining time. That's a good pistol there from Williams. Now we've got Hulk behind us, and Hulk's actually, never mind. Actually, I think it was Johnny Van. I thought for a second that Hulk had overtaken the Merc, but Hulk was already in front of him. He was in front of Van anyway. So we read you on the track now, back where we were in P5s to start with. And crucially though, Hulk's going to keep in front into turn 4, is he? Yes, he is. And this is really what you say. Hulk's doing me a massive favour right now, keeping ahead of Pascal Van and really holding up his fellow countryman. I mean, Hulk was the 2009 GP2 champion, as he was called back then. He's got 1 race win under his belt so far. And being in the work team of Renault, I mean, Renault, they've definitely been rebuilding, so there's definitely more to come from Renault in the future, I'd think. But now moving a bit further on. Looking a bit further on into the race, we've got Verstappen here, still in front of Kamui Kobayashi with the trucks. Actually looking like he's going to start to dry up a little bit. Definitely looks a lot drier than it did last time we came in for our stop, so maybe we can back to dry tyres soon as Kobayashi with that massive transfer. Once again, pulled to the inside line of Verstappen. Verstappen almost getting scared. I thought Kobayashi going very, very aggressive there. Almost, well, I say almost, he did squeeze Verstappen off the grass, but Verstappen had to get out of the way, really. So yeah, just scaring Verstappen off the road. Now, not saying this I never thought you'd be able to scare Verstappen off the road, but Kobayashi fighting for his career with all his worth, really. And now we're moving a bit further on from that onto lap 27, so yeah, just burning through these laps now. The track really is starting to dry up, so it should be about to dry tyres before the end of the race, I would think. And if it did stay cloud cover like this, the track's definitely going to be drying up. And they get a horrible slide on there, so yeah. These Inters are definitely past their best, and even on a drying track, you definitely don't want to be on Inters, really. As we're only 5 seconds down now, so the speed is coming back now, because we were about 8 seconds before we went on to Inters the first time. Actually, it's a very bright cloud, so the sun might actually make an appearance yet before the end of this race. Now it's time to come now into the pit lane, so surely this must be for a set now of the dry tyres. And once again, we're going to slide away to pit lane. No, that was more controlled, actually. It was a better line that time. Coming now in for what should be our final scheduled pit stop of the season. Unless we're going to another set of Inters, which I don't think we will be. Now it's going to be a set of super softs, and these supers will take us to the end of the race. We get held there for Verstappen and for Kobayashi once again, although I feel like we could have got out in front of Kamui. And we've got Sosa there in front of us, and we've got Pascal Verlaine there right behind us as well, as Alonso. So Mercedes pretty much in a double stack there. But Alonso is just going to be taking it nice and cautiously, and hopefully all the wheels are on his car for him. And then it's a pit lane happy hour now at this point. There's absolutely everyone coming into the pits. And then we've got the Sauber team making what will be their final pit stop in Formula 1. I mean, it's going to be the same crew for next year. They'll just be known as Alfa Romeo. So that should be the final Sauber pit stop in Formula 1. Although, I don't know if Leclerc's come in yet. So they might have one more too, but either way, that's the last one for Masachita. His last scheduled return to the pit lane. He's rejoin back down the track. I mean, imagine he hasn't really featured really in this race. I haven't seen literally anything of him, but he's still going though in Sauber's final race, which I'm sure he's going to be happy enough with that anyway. But now looking back at us now onto lap 28, so yeah, back now to the last universe. We're right at the back now of Kobayashi, and now this is where our car comes into its prime, because we had some supreme pace in qualifying, and Kobayashi gets very aggressive once again with his defending now, and he almost pretty much brake testing us into the corner. Pretty much had to lock the rears there to not slam into the back of him. Kobayashi, you know he's fighting for his future. I mean, there's rumours that Matsushita might be taking his seat at Toyota for next season, so he's basically just him outsizing himself to his team. We're just going to blast past Kamui in a straight line with our BMW power. Basically, this is just turning into an engine grudge match between Toyota and BMW in this race between me and Kobayashi. I mean, Hamilton, he's out in front somewhere. I have no idea how far in front, besides very. But now then, is Kobayashi going to come back just now down this straight? And there we're far in front of him, managed to get him out the first corner. As now our teammate Kubica puts up the fastest lap now of the Grand Prix, and that is what I need, Robert. I need you to do a bit more of that for the next 7 laps of the race. Or Leclerc as well. I prefer Kubica to do it, because he really needs to get a move on up the order, as we're just throwing the car now around this corner. He's got to use all the life these tyres have available to us, because they're not going to wear out in 7 laps that are left, so 8 laps that we've had them on. So yeah, it's going to be flatter now to the finish, and we've got 0.8 of a lap of extra fuel. So yeah, we've got fuel to burn when we need it. And now as Hamilton's already crossed the finish line, and he's that far in front of us. That is quite a way from him. It was just far away. Actually, we go purple 3 seconds, but like I said, it's going to be a kind of like happy hour for fastest laps now as the track rubs in against the times. It's going to be getting faster and faster each lap. I think Hamilton put up an 11.1 as his lap time, I think it was. Either way, actually, we've just about gone into the DRS, actually, of Max Verstappen. Going on now to the finish line. What did we say? We said a 10.5. That is going to take some beating, although it's probably going to be beaten by the end of this lap, let's be honest, really. As we come now through the Sanaress is there. Now we're going to be in the DRS now of Max Verstappen now once again. You know, the DRS now wide open, still keeping though in medium, because don't want to burn up my extra fuel yet to actually catch. I want to use it when I catch a defender. We get very on the brakes, almost spearing to the back of Verstappen. So once again, just getting much braver on the brakes. Anyways, I think Verstappen, he's usually pretty stomping on the brakes as well. He's probably one of the ballsiest drivers in Formula 1 today as well. So yeah, if the outbraking is maybe he's just taking it easy in his final race for this season. Well, he's on the podium, so he's going to want to come away with that. I mean, he probably feels like he should be able to get Soto, but Soto, he's just been on another planet in the past few races. And Vettel, ever since he dropped out of title contention, has really been nowhere. So, no Vettel, he was really always the #1 driver at Ferrari, even though Verne was the champion coming into this season. Things never really worked out on the relationship between them, really, with Verne and Ferrari. So when Verne dropped out of championship contention along with Vettel, there seems to be equal status, and Sutto's really stepped up now in his final few races with the Scuderia. Getting on the race now and back on Verstappen now once again, coming up now into tail one close to make a lead with the inside line. Verstappen, he felt the need to defend there, so he's definitely feeling the presence of our BMW Williams. But we've got Kobayashi about 2.5 behind us, so yeah, we've dropped Kamui for the moment, but if he gets stuck behind Verstappen, that's not going to be good for us, because Kobayashi, I feel, is just going to come blasting straight back past us once again. But you have to actually put it down into Lemix now, because I can feel with the DRS, I can just follow Verstappen here in limits while just save fuel by still going fast on there. So yeah, and a little bit of tactical play right now, saving fuel and going down to 0 on the ERS as well, because you want to save the battery, save up some fuel as well for an assault. Because when I get past Verstappen, I'm going to need to make it stick. Because Verstappen, I mean, the engine, the Cosy engine of the car, there's no match for the BMW engine in the back of our Williams. But Max Verstappen, he's quite the match for a Williams car. He's probably one of the, if he didn't get promoted to Red Bull when he did, he's going to be one of the most in-demand drivers at the time, pretty much along with Charles Leclerc as well. We know he's Ferrari bound for next season, so yeah, all the young guns moving up to the top teams already is going to be just setting up all the action possibly for a great season here in 2019. But we've got to finish about 2018 yet before we even think about starting our 2019 season. Now again, now on Verstappen, who's got so much more over, going out to 210 miles an hour, Verstappen defensively this along, trying to hold it around the outside line. Verstappen forces down to the grass. We have two wheels there onto the green stuff. We're going to keep force the issue though, keep it on the outside line before Verstappen out wide. He gives us racing room, so fair play to him there. And we're going to squeeze in there to the Apex, give a little bit of payback for what he did to us, and now we're going to switch to Verstappen's camera view now because we are DRS. We're just about getting there. Agitation point. Now actually here comes Kobayashi trying to get involved now. Trying to get around the outside line. Verstappen, you can keep it side by side there with the Dutchman going to hold it out around the outside line. Verstappen, sure he's not going to allow that. Kobayashi there, keeps it side by side, keeps his nose in. Now he's going to try and now keep it on the inside line. Going to be what Kvyat was doing with Alonso, but with that good aero chassis of that Red Bull. Verstappen was able to keep it there around the outside line. Now it's going to be side by side still between the two of them. It looks like, I can't really see Verstappen from this camera angle. But the way they're going through the corners, yeah, they're still going side by side. The two of them absolutely relentless here. This is the fight for 4th place, but this is all. For Verstappen, it's all about pride. For Kobayashi, is trying to keep himself in Formula 1 at Toyota for next year. And it's still going side by side. They're going side by side for basically, well, going around here, going to get side there for an entire lap. Now you can train speed. Look at that. It's going to blast straight around the outside line. That Toyota's unbelievably quick in a straight line. But then Verstappen there with the DRS. Is it enough to try and come back now? At Kamui, coming on the run now into turn 1. Kobayashi goes to the inside line. Verstappen going to try and hold it now around the outside line. But Kobayashi goes late on the brakes. He cuts across the nose. Off Verstappen, goes late on purpose. So Verstappen can't get a switch back line because he has to go out, force it out wide as well. Now he's going to have a second bite now of DRS as well. But the two of them closing up towards now. Massive straight on speed that Kobayashi's got on us now. You can try and go to the inside line. We have to go defensive to the inside. Kobayashi can try and hold it now around the outside line. But we've slowed us out still. He's going to force us though to the apex there for the inside line. We get caught up on the curb. And Kobayashi going to drive right down outside as well. Kobayashi, where have you learned these outside manoeuvres from? And we're still going to just try and force the car through. Now can try and power away around the outside line. Can we go though into the next corner? We're not closer to make a move. Kobayashi goes to the inside line. We run out wide. Can go and lay on the brakes. Basically, like I said, it's all or nothing now because Hamilton's so far up the road. I'm going to need an absolute miracle now if I'm to win the championship, because with every passing lap, every passing meter, the championship's just playing more and more to the hands of Alonso. Alonso, if you wanted to, you could get his deck share right now and watch from the rest of the garage. Or if you wanted to, you could just go and do what he did in 2015, just park up and do a bit of sunbathing, because he'd still be champion as things stand. But again, anything can happen. We've seen last lap DNS before for Kimi Raikkonen in 2005, Mick Hakkinen in 2001. Nothing is out of the question. Until you cross the line, it's never over. Now we're just going to blast past Kobayashi once again. He goes to the inside line, but again, he just gave me the inside line basically. Now we're going to move aggressively over onto the racing line. Once again, we get back up now into 2nd place, into 3rd place actually, as we're just all over the place there. That's not the best line through those corners, but the tyres are also going to be starting to go off now, because although they can do 7 laps, they're not really wanting to do 7 laps. Now Kobayashi going to go to the inside line, because I'm going to get in the inside line. Based off what he did to us last time, the outside line is the place to be. We're going to keep it side by side. Kobayashi though, he's got his nose in front of us, but then we have the inside line though for the next corner. Kobayashi is going to try and force his way around the outside line. Going to give him space though to the outside line. We're going to be willing to come in big contact there. Actually, the thing that possibly been a bit of a front wing fall off there, so I saw something come off. So yeah, now it's getting a bit personal now between me and Kobayashi. We've still got Verstappen. Actually, I'm not seeing any front wing on the left side. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I did lop off half my front wing, but then again, Kobayashi forced me onto the grass. I gave him space around the outside line. Yeah, actually being very aggressive. Well, again, what showing me once again, 2 of my wheels were on the track. I'm pretty sure of that. But now that we've got half our front wing missing, we're going to be mega low drag on this race. So can we do anything to close back up now to Kamui Kobayashi? Honestly, I hope he gets a penalty for that. I mean, he's been so aggressive. I mean, he almost forced Verstappen off the track here at turn 1. A few laps to go in the race, as you saw. And that was in the way as well, so yeah, that was even more dangerous as they were running. Just oversteer me up, really. And understeer as well. Just all of the steers, besides getting around the corners properly. And Verstappen once again is going to be looking very serious. Luckily, I've still got DRS off the back of Kamui. That was probably the luckiest DRS I've had, because otherwise Verstappen would have been blasting straight past me. He's got so much more aerodynamic benefits than my Williams right now, and these cars got more aerodynamic benefits anyway, because it's a Red Bull, it's engineering designed. It's going to be a good car through the corners. But if we can just plant the car here, through the middle sector, because although we're missing half a front wing, it's all like low speed corners, like S's through this middle part of the lap, and even with half a front wing, slow speed corners I would think that we'll be able to do. I've only got to hold off though Verstappen now for one lap and one sector really, so yeah, I need for about another minute and a half is what we've got to hold off Verstappen for, which it's really looking very unlikely now, unless the three cars in front of us just implode, that we're not going to win the championship here in the final race of the season. We're actually much below from Verstappen though, so maybe he'd run out of faster engine mode or something. Maybe that was his one last shot to try and get past us, as we're 2 seconds out on our best lap, so yeah. Front wing damage, definitely not doing us any favours whatsoever. But yeah, can we even chase down the Kobayashi? I think he might just have to settle here for 4th place. But now looking up front though, to Lewis Hamilton. And Hamilton honestly has just completely dominated this Grand Prix. And then look at there's Kobayashi, there's me and Verstappen as well. I mean, that's actually a really nice camera view, but we're so far behind him, he's way out to be to see that. I mean, we're best part of like half a lap down from Hamilton. But now he's only got one more corner to go. Imagine if he's engine blew up now, he could probably just coast up to the line. But now then, coming up now then to the finish line, and Lewis Hamilton closes out 2018 with the victory and takes Toyota's 5th victory in Formula 1 with all the victories coming this season. If Toyota can keep this kind of form going, this surely is a message of intent for championship contention for next season. So Adrian Sutil has got a little bit of live traffic to deal with, and the Toro Rosso there gets out of the way pretty easily. He's also got the McLaren there in front of him as well. No, then Sutil, he didn't quite get the win, but he's coming up to the line now. He's going to get past the McLaren. They're coming up to the line. Adrian Sutil finishing in 2nd place to take his best ever finish in Formula 1 at his final race.
That's P10. P10. We made it. Good job, Adrian.
Yes. Yes, yes. Very good.
And there you can see his team understandably pleased for him, getting 10th place in the Drivers' Championship. But coming up to the line, it's going to be P4 for us. And for us, it's not going to be the Drivers' Championship for this season. But P4, I just got to hope that Kobayashi did a good enough job to get Williams the Constructors at least. But someone who's not going to care about the Constructors' Championship now is this man, Fernando Alonso, coming up to the line. He sees his team on the pit wall. Fernando Alonso is a Drivers' World Champion for the 2018 Formula 1 season.
Yeah, well done. Come on!
Thank you guys, thank you. Merci à tous. Thank you. Fantastic job, fantastic. All season.
Thank you, Fernando.
With you guys. What the final race. Both championships again. Thank you for all these years. It has been a pleasure for me to work with you. With this success, I wish you the best for the future.
It might not have been the most spectacular of final races, but Alonso, he did what he needed to do, and Alonso is now a 3-time Formula 1 World Championship, and what a way to end your F1 career. And also Vijay Mallya, as Alonso celebrates on track, your celebrations also in the pit wall as well, as Toyota round out the season with another victory. Like I said, it makes 5 wins for the team in the season, 4 for Hamilton and 1 for Kobayashi. Well, finishes in 3rd place on the podium once again. You can see how late the team are. I mean, it took them so long to get that first win. I mean, it took them coming back a 2nd time to actually get that win. And Ray Harrington finishes in 15th place, which all things considered isn't too bad of a result. Taking a look at the final race results for the 2018 season, Hamilton would take a dominant victory, almost 30 seconds clear of Adrian Sutil. He finishes with his best ever result in Formula 1 to end off his Formula 1 career. And Kobayashi makes it a Toyota 1-3, coming home in 3rd. We just missed out on the podium, coming home in P4, but we wouldn't at least keep ahead of Max Verstappen, who finishes in 5th place, with Pascal Wehrlein with a much needed result, coming home in 6th place ahead of his teammate Alonso. Daniel Kvyat will recover up into 8th place. Our teammate Kubica coming home in P9, with Hulkenberg rounding off the top 10 in the Renault, with Sebastian Vettel down 11th place, and Matsushita rounds off the top 12 and gets Sauber's final point in Formula 1. Leclerc would just miss out on points in his final race for the Swiss outfit, with Jean-Luc Vergne finishing in 14th place, with Haryanto last car on the lead lap in 15th. with Lance Stroll down in P16. So it's been a poor race there for Lance Stroll and for the Haas team as a general, with Kari in 17th place ahead of Mick Schumacher. And Kari actually with a better fastest lap as well than Schumi, so yeah, Haas need to go back to the drawing board with BMW for next season, with Carmen Jordan in 19th and Pierre Gasly riding off the 20 as all the cars finish the final race. So taking one final look now at the driver standings, and Alonso is your 2018 Drivers' World Champion, 15 points clear of us and only just broke over the 200 points barrier to our 186, so congratulations there to Fernando Alonso. Honestly, Alonso, you were the reason why I wanted to become a Formula 1 driver in the first place, and honestly, I can't think of a better driver to finish second place to. Hamilton, in the end, wasn't actually too far behind us, only 5 points off us in the end, finishing in P3, so encouraging signs for Toyota for next season. Daniel Kvyat finishes in the end in 4th place with 149 points, 7 points clear of our teammate Robbie Kubica. Sebastian Vettel in P6 on 133, just beating out Max Verstappen by 1 point. Verstappen finishes 10 points clear of Pascal Wehrlein, with Kobayashi in 9th place on 110, and Adrian Sutter would, like his engineer said, finish in P10 and gets into the 100-point barrier, with Charles Leclerc in 11th on 88, and Hulkenberg rounding off the top 12 for Renault with 60. Jean-Eric Verne finishes in 13th place on 46 points, 2 points clear of Mick Schumacher on 44, who beats his teammate this season, Lance Stroll, who finishes with 35. Ricciardo stays in 16th on 16, with Gio 17th on 5, joint with Haryanto, with Pierre Gasly 19th on 4, Matsushita stays where he is in 20th, with 2 points, with Carmen Jordan the last of the point scorers, leaving only Sainz and Kari as the only 2 drivers who didn't score throughout the season. Alonso may have took the Drivers' Championship, but it's Williams who round out the Constructors for 2018 by only 5 points, so it's a good job Kubica got his act together. But when he got back onto the dry tyres, we saw him staying fastest lap, so yeah, really up the ante towards the end. And Williams beat out Mercedes by 5 points, and Toyota steal 3rd place on the final race by 10 points from Red Bull, because Daniel Kvyat down the order really didn't do much for their chances. Scuderia Ferrari finish in 5th place after a really disappointing season, yeah. They're only, yeah, like I said, those 226, that's basically as many points as Jean-Eric Verne scored on his own last season for the team, so yeah. Ferrari definitely need to design a car that's different for next season. With the regulation changes though, you never know what's going to happen really. Alfa Romeo Sauber finish off in 6th place with 132 points, so a really good final season there for Sauber in Formula 1. And 6th place is a really respectable result as well. I mean, it's the best of the rest really, and the lead of the independent teams. And they beat the works constructor of Renault with a finish on 92 points, and they beat Haas on 79 after their really disappointing second half of the season. But the McLaren finish in 9th place on 6 points, which is exactly as many points as they scored last season. Toro Rosso finishing in 10th place with 4 points. And finally now, taking a look at the list of UniONE career champions. And in the first season in 2014, it'll be Nico Rosberg taking his one and only championship, with Mercedes walking it in the constructors as well. For 2015, it'll be a different story, with Vettel taking his 5th championship and Ferrari sealing the constructors. In 2016, we take our first championship, and taking also Williams' first since 1997, and the first for the Williams BMW partnership. And then last season, well, it was Verne with Ferrari as well, and then this year Fernando Alonso takes the championship for the drivers. But you can see the Williams in red, because for the first time it wasn't a team from the driver that won the constructors, it was a different team, so that's why the Williams is in red. So yeah, that's it for this 2018 season. Thanks to anyone who watched any of it or the entire season. I know some of you out there who watched the entire season, so shout outs to you who did it. Also shout out to Kyle as well, who did my team radios a few times back at the Hungarian Grand Prix and that as well. And the 2019 season, yeah, that's definitely going to happen as well. So yeah, there'll be a little bit of a break though, because we got the all the testing and that too. We actually got to build next season's cars. So yeah, 2019 season will be coming. So yeah, vote for your driver of the day with the poll link that'll be in the video description. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Check out the wiki for the championship as well, because that'll be fully updated now. All the teams, all the drivers. Sneak peek maybe what's to come up for next season as well. And look back at all the teams, all the drivers that have ever competed in this championship so far. So yeah, also remember to give me a follow on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They'll be linked in the description down below as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.